Yeah, boss of YouTube, 6ftHax here. I need to change up my intro, man. I've said that for almost like 200 battles in a row. I don't know, like, not to get boss apart, like what I say after it. I don't know. What's up? How's it going, everybody? Hopefully y'all are having a good Monday. Hopefully for those of you who are out in Florida or who may have the Hurricane Irma around them, hopefully y'all are staying safe and y'all are sheltered properly. Don't want anybody to get hurt by that, but yeah, we do have a Wi-Fi battle for y'all today. I have a Wi-Fi battle for y'all today in the UU tier using one of the Pokemon that is currently being suspected in UU in the forms of Mega Heracross. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Mega Heracross. Do you think it should be allowed or do you think it should be banned? And I'm facing KM888 off of my Discord. Going into this battle, the combination of Hydreigon and Latias was going to be very, very scary. Just because dual Dragon Stab and then Hydreigon literally having the perfect coverage to just destroy my entire team was going to be very hard to deal with. And I'm just using a kind of team I threw together just because I really wanted to use Mega Heracross. And I really wanted to try out the old previous gens Volt Turn core of Scizor and Rotom Wash. So I let off with my Scarf Jirachi. I know I can outspeed any variant of Hydreigon, so I'm going to go straight for the U-turn into my Heracross because it's really the only thing on my team that appreciates taking a Dark Pulse, and I was very positive you wouldn't go straight for a Fire Blast or a Flamethrower, possibly expecting my Rotom to maybe switch in potentially, as I will be able to take this opportunity to go straight for the Bullet Seed. There's no way this Hydreigon is staying in. Typically Hydreigon do tend to be Scarfed, so I did expect them to either want to bring in the Hippowdon or bring in the Vaporeon. And look at this raw power of offensive Mega Heracross. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a Hippowdon. Hippowdon is extremely fat, and that is a clean 2-hit KO. Like, it doesn't matter if he gets leftovers, doesn't matter if he has Protect. I can just click Pin Missile, Bullet Seed, or Close Combat, and something is basically just going to get absolutely blown back. Now, he said that he wasn't aware that Mega Heracross was being currently suspected, and he said that he might have brought in the Beedrill. Regular Beedrill still takes about 35 to 40-ish% from the Bullet Seed, and then I would have been out of range of where, unless he was adamant, I still lived any one hit comfortably, so I still might have been able to pick up a KO here with Heracross. Either way though, I do manage to get rid of his Hippowdon, which is an absolutely big plus for me because that was most likely his Stealth Rocker, and now I no longer have to worry about rocks on my side of the field, as I'm going to pivot directly into my Jirachi here against this Latias. Typically, Latias don't tend to carry anything that can touch Jirachi too much right now, since Jirachi just recently did drop as well. Regardless though, I'm in a very good scenario to just go straight for the U-turn. If he wants to switch out, I gain momentum. If he stays in, I can manage to start chipping down the Latias, plus the Sandstorm is still up, and that will also be taking away some of his HP. As I do U-turn into my Gliscor here, I did not at all expect him to go for the Thunder Wave. I thought that maybe he was going to try and go for a Roost, maybe a Calm Mind, just wanting to see what I wanted to go for. Either way though, this should be my perfect chance to go ahead and get on my Stealth Rocks. There is a chance that the Latias could maybe have the Defog, but if I'm able to keep up offensive momentum, I may be able to stop him from defogging. As I do get on my rocks, he is going to end up switching directly into his Vaporeon. Now, typically Vaporeon carry Wish, Protect, Scald, and Heal Bell, although sometimes they don't have Heal Bell, they may have Toxic on there. So I was really hoping that he wouldn't have Heal Bell on the set, which is why I just stayed and go straight for the Toxic, because if you guys remember my team from the team preview, I don't necessarily have too much to really break down this Vaporeon, and if this is a physically defensive Vaporeon, it lives one hit from my Mega Heracross, and then he can potentially scald me and burn me, and that could be really bad. Even though I do have Rotom Wash, Rotom is not a specially offensive set. They are typically a defensive pivot set, so Voltage is not doing much to it in the first place. So again, my best bet is to hope that he doesn't have the Heal Bell. That way I can start letting this Toxic rack up as I switch into my Latias. He does get a burn there, doesn't really end up mattering entirely too much, so really wasn't too bothered by that. Plus the burn actually kind of benefits me, because if he has Toxic, he can't Toxic me anymore, and now my Latias will only be taking 6% every turn instead of it racking up every turn, as I'm going to make a very aggressive play this turn, and I'm going to go straight for my Z move in the forms of Devastating Drake. My thought was that if he did go for the Protect, then that's going to be an extra turn of toxic damage, and after that turn of toxic damage, he may be in range of where Draco Meteor can knock out Vaporeon. So I really felt that there was no drawback into me going for the Devastating Drake, as Silvally, much to both of our surprises, actually ends up living the the Devastating Drake, which I was not expecting. Turns out that he was actually a max HP set, and I only had about a 12% chance to OHKO him on the switch in there. So I do have to go for the Psychic this next turn, as I take another round of the burn damage. That is perfectly fine though, as he does end up getting a free switch into his Mega Beedrill here. I do have a relatively good switch into this in the form of my Scizor. If he goes for the knockoff here, that could be slightly annoying, because that's still going to do a lot of damage to my Scizor. Actually, this U-turn itself does a lot more than I was expecting. That's like a good 10, maybe 15% from a resisted move, man. Mega Beedrill hits absurdly hard, and I will gain my lefties this turn, so now he knows I'm more of a defensive set as opposed to like a Choice Bandit or just offensive set in general. As this turn, I ended up making a bit of an odd play. Now, because I kind of just threw this team together, I didn't realize I didn't have U-turn on the Scizor. So I might have stayed in here and just gone for the U-turn, because Scizor really isn't doing entirely too much in this battle, so long as his Vaporeon is around. So what I should have done here was gone for the U-turn, because I think I'm faster. If I wasn't faster, then I would have probably hard switched out anyways. But if I was faster, I could have got off a little bit more chip with the U-turn. As I bring in my Rotom here, expecting him to pass this Wish Off to his Latios, I actually go for the Thunder Wave, but he ends up going for the Heal Bell, and now I'm sitting here trying to think of how in the world am I going to deal with this Vaporeon if it's brought back up to full HP, because at full HP I only have about a 6% chance to OHKO a max defense, max HP, bold natured Vaporeon. So he does end up going for the Wish here. I was very positive he wouldn't go for the Scald. Typically you don't want to Scald a Rotom, you kind of just want to use that turn to just gain some momentum, or in this case go for the Wish. As I go straight for the Bulleted here, I was very close to clicking the Swords Dance, thinking that he would go for the Protect. Thankfully though, he did not Protect, and I am able to knock him out with the Bullet Seed, and Mega Heracross literally doing what it can do in UU and just wall break. This thing has a base 185 physical attack. That is higher than Kyurem Black in UU. I mean in OU, sorry. So this thing in UU would be absolutely absurd in my opinion. I personally don't think it should stay UU. I really hope it gets banned, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna get banned because it's an insane wall breaker. So I end up bringing my Scizor here as he knocks out my Heracross with the Flamethrower. The main reason I brought in Scizor was because I wanted to ensure that the U-turn from my Jirachi was going to be able to knock out this Hydreigon, because at above 40% HP, it's a roll on whether or not U-turn knocks out Hydreigon. And I think the minimum damage was like 42%, but again, Scizor really wasn't doing too much else, so I thought that if anything, I could guarantee the U-turn KO with my Jirachi. But he actually ends up switching out into the Beedrill, and I found this to be a little bit odd because Hydreigon is going to get knocked out by Stealth Rocks anyway, so I can U-turn out against this Beedrill into my Rotom Wash, which does not take this Poison Jab as well as I honestly thought it would do. I thought it would only do like maybe 30%, but no, that did well over 50%. Even though I'm not max defense, I have about 208 EVs in the fence, that still did a good amount of damage, so I'm able to knock him out with the Volt Switch as I bring in my Latios here. The main reason I brought in my Latios as opposed to my Jirachi was because I actually didn't know if this Latios would be in range of U-turn. Regardless though, Jirachi in this scenario would have been my correct play to do, because it turns out that not only does he win a speed tie, but he ends up going for the Healing Wish, and this would explain why he saved his Hydreigon, because now he can bring it back in and it's going to be brought back up to full HP. Now, this is a little bit scary, because if I'm not able to knock this Hydreigon out with U-turn in 2 or 3 U-turns, then this thing can possibly still win him the battle. So at this point, very positive he is scarfed, especially because he did just outspeed my Latios. This does, however, though, give me a free switch into my Jirachi, and in return, I will be able to safely pivot out here and go for the U-turn, putting him at below 50% at around like maybe 45-ish, almost 50%. So it's still a damage roll on whether or not my next U-turn will knock him out here. Luckily though, I do still have a potential sack in the form of my last Pokemon, which escapes my mind at the current moment, and I feel bad about that. Gliscor, I have Gliscor in the back, so if my next U-turn doesn't knock him out here and he does live on about 1 or 2% because I get an absolute min roll, then I will be able to sack off my Gliscor and in return bring back in my Jirachi and then just win again with U-turn or Iron Head. So yeah, Scarfrachi still an absolute monster in the UU tier, especially with all the dragon types right now that are also weak to just bug moves in general. Well, I guess, oh, actually, yeah, because Altaria is not weak to bug moves, but it is weak to Iron Head. So, you know what I'm trying to say. I really feel like Jirachi is going to shoot up in the rankings and just in usage in general. So, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the fun battle. Good game to KM888 or 888. I probably just said that incorrectly. So, hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. Make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. Let me know what you guys think about Mega Heracross in the UU tier. Do you think it should be banned? Do you think it should be allowed? Do you think it's really not that problematic? Again, personally, I don't think it should be allowed. Like, yeah, it's kind of slow. I think it's like base 75 or 70 base speed, which is slower than regular Heracross. But again, a base 185 attack, guys. Let that sink in. That is way too strong for UU in my honest opinion. But I would be interested to hear what you guys have to say. So with that being said, if you did enjoy the video, you know what to do, and I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.